Well, rest of their bones and souls delivering all our slaves, fake cats, desperate men, and thus, with poison, war, and sickness well, coffee and charms can make us sleep as well. And better than thy stroke, why swellst thou then? One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die. Indulgence, welcome back, everyone. How are we actually holding up?
I'm doing great.
Great is always a very, very good thing. Taking a quick look, so no one just hit awaken, huh? You can do the things the hard way.
He told me to roll round, so I rolled round.
Just don't do things the hard way.
Right?
Nah, that's fine. It is perfectly fine. There are ways that we will accomplish what it is that we are going to accomplish tonight.
Okay.
There is always a way forward. There is always a path. Sometimes it comes at the cost of knees and elbows and backs and, well, occasionally front when you fall flat and only have your fingers to pull yourself forward, to only have your toes dug into the mud, pushing yourself forward. But there's always a way forward, which is the underlying message of what the Coterie has been dealing with from point one, the way forward. Now, it's natural human and by extension kindred behavior to attempt to find another way, or oftentimes, more often than not, to decide that the effort is not worth your time. There's too much riding on it. We build these huge monstrous mountains that we cannot possibly climb, and the moment that we say we can't, we are absolutely correct. Then we say we won't, and again, unfortunately, we are oftentimes correct. The truth of the matter is, time is a thief of forever. Time is a thief of always. It chews us up and spits us out if we're lucky. Oftentimes, we are ground beneath the war machine of time and other entities, agents, because they are willing to put in the effort. They're willing to claw, scrape, crawl, to literally move mountains to achieve their wants and occasionally their needs. The Coterie, as it stands, in one shape, fashion, or form after the other, has been stymied, belayed, knocked aside, moved, plundered, put asunder. It has been, with no exaggeration, a testament to the internal fortitude of the Coterie to reach the position they are currently in. And that position is, without a shadow of a doubt, rising for the evening on this, our 5th episode of Lost Wages, Second Chances, entitled The Better Stroke of Death's Caress. When we last left the Coterie, more specifically, they had died for the day in the facility to the east of Prim, in the middle of the desert, surrounded by a ring of photovoltaic generators and wind turbines and other natural renewable energy generating devices, forming a ring of death around the facility. It is literally a death field. For a quarter of a mile into the sky, into the atmosphere above, and just as far beneath the hot sands. The energy generated by this facility is on par with enough energy required to operate Las Vegas. They are free of Prim's energy grid. They are free of every other municipality's energy grid. They are generating enough energy for a city. And in that doing, the birds, the lizards, the creepy crawling bugs, and those things that slither from one side of the veil to the next die when all of those devices are in operation. It is literally a ring, an impenetrable ring of force and energy, and most pressingly, heat. Anything living and most things dead that attempt to cross that field while everything is in full daytime operation is microwaved on the cellular level. The moisture of their very atoms is expelled. The facility during the daylight hours is proof against all comers. Even at night, the heat is oppressive. Even at night, it is a danger being in the death field. More palatable, it's more possible to escape relatively unscathed, but it is still very much a real danger. So awaking inside the facility, inside the safety of the security, inside the dark, locked room, inside the cage, the tomb, the coterie is rousing for the evening. We'll start alphabetically, and we'll work our way through. Starting with whether your beast has come knocking.
I guess that would actually be me this time, huh?
It would.
See, where was she in the room with them, or was she down in the cells? I don't remember.
She was in the cells. The glass cubes that have had roughly a quarter of their number broken down of its occupants. The gunfire, smoke, and the smell, the discarding of bodies is not a comfortable thing for anyone. It is not an easy thing to behold. It's the worst thing when watching the bodies fall. Instead of triggering the gag reflex, instead of triggering the body's outrage at such criminality and such harm, there is the very real salivations that begin, the gurgling roar of your hunger, the unease that you would feel if you had in fact gone a few days without eating. Your stomach's not quite punching a hole in your spine, but it is very close. Which is odd considering, yeah, you know for a fact that you ate before all of whatever that was that happened. And it was a lot of a lot. First, your cousin slash actual brother appeared out of nowhere, telling you you need to go. Then there was the chaos and those Hollywood extras from Walking Dead, and there was the desert, and then there was the pain, and then there's the loss of control, the actual unbridled rage, and then more and more of that fucking annoying pain. And here you are, manacled inside a clear cage with not so much as a pot to piss in.
She will be struggling and yelling basically trying to get someone's attention to let her out because she doesn't belong here. What the hell? Why? I don't remember ever getting here.
No, you don't. And then adding the most debasing of insults to it. Your clothes are covered in blood. Splatters here, splotches there. The abrasions and contusions across your forehead, luckily, are not something that you see, but you feel them. You feel where you were cudgeled and accosted. You feel the rug burn from the sand as you were pushed against it, pushed into it, scraped along it. You have sand in places sand should not be. And the most disconcerting factor of it all, the truly problematic aspect, there's a part of you somewhere deep down and all too close to the surface that hears his voice. Come on, Stacy, we gotta go. Come on, Stacy, we gotta go. Come on, they're coming. We gotta go. We gotta get to your... You can hear his whispered voice. We gotta stay strong. We gotta get out of this. Come on. I took care of everything. Just let's go now. They're coming.
That is certainly not helping her rising panic any.
Everyone knows about deja vu. It happens often enough that even people who don't speak French and who've never actually experienced it understand what it is. So as the guards appear outside of your specific glass case, jocularly teasing and taunting each other, there's a part of you that begins chiming in with that whispered voice. Eat them. And it makes matters worse because, unfortunately, they have pole arms. Honest fucking goodness, pole arms. You watch that show about those Asian guys in the night road somewhere in Vietnam or Southeast Asia that use those poles like they do in India to keep people from hurting themselves and others. But seeing them up close and personal, it is intimidating. It is disheartening because while you can't say for sure, you know by the simple fact they're outside of your cage that they are here for you.
She's going to do her best to cry and beg her way out of this situation. Because she has no idea what's going on.
Which only adds to the insult of it all. You are manhandled by cold steel. You're maneuvered, poked, and pushed along and guided by cold steel. Walked as if you were Hannibal Lecter or worse by cold steel, with them joking and talking about last night's game and so forth and so on, and oh my god, did you see blah blah blah, and it is a confusing mass of light, dark down hallways that you didn't know existed, through doors that shouldn't be there, and on through until the night air hits you. When this night air hits you, Anastasia, it has been years, Fancy, since you've had the opportunity of resurrecting for the evening in the presence of someone else. Full stop. Let alone someone you have feelings for. But resurrecting for the evening in the presence of someone else is not scary, worse. It's as if for a second you don't quite remember where you are, right where you were. Space is full dark. There's no seeing what lies in front of you, but you can feel them against you. A tall, long, taut body pressed firmly against you. And dead or not, there are certain portions that let you know that the body pressed against you is in fact male. And the aftershave and the cologne and the hair product. You are once more in a hotel room on the edges of town, southwest of town, in the space where they allow women and men who look like you without too many problems. There's the natural ostracization that happens. There's the side to knowing your place that is participle of every conversation, yet they allow you all to reside there. And he comes willingly. He comes proudly, claiming you as his, enjoying all the culture that you have, all the grace that you might muster. And once more, you're alone in that room, doing things that only married people should do, feeling bad about this or that, the consideration of what your mother might think, or what your father might do if they were able to learn, let alone who he is, what he does. He's a bad man. And he has gotten you to do so many bad things. Just being with him, a ton of weight on your conscience. The fact that you are with him outside of wedlock, only adding centuries of guilt. And as you lay there in the dark, thinking about how to get out from underneath all of that, you know it ain't always gonna be like this, right? Fancy, you know that, right? You know I love you, Fancy.
It don't matter, but it's gonna be like later. We have now. That's all that's important. It's now. I don't
You
care
don't
about
get
later.
it, Fancy. You don't get it.
I don't.
Everybody think that you're just my chickie. Everybody think that you just my side piece. You think my fun in the sun. And that ain't enough. It really ain't enough. You ain't a little piece of cobbler. You are the entire meal. So, I know what you're thinking, that I'm gonna win bam and off to the races. But we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna do something else.
Like what?
And you can feel him moving around there in the dark, fumbling through his jacket, through his waistcoat. You can hear it, something sliding. Is it his gun? Is he finna put you down?
Hello, sailor.
He wouldn't be fighting with that. And even if he ever did pull a gun on her, she'd probably just be happy for the time they had.
Then you hear it. The click of the box. And then you feel it. That cold piece of metal that all but signs your death warrant. The end of you sliding over your finger.
You don't mean that.
In this day and age, doing so privately, let alone publicly, is a death sentence to you and to him. Even if you survive physically, the amount of pushback that you all would get, the amount of sheer unbridled enmity that would happen, you'd have to leave town. He would have to leave town. You got to change your name. You got to hide away in some backwater, out of the way spot, away from the limelight, away from his family, away from yours, away from the neighbors. There's no way. And yet, there is. Because that cold piece of metal that signs your death warrant is weighing heavily there on your finger. And his hand sits atop it. Yeah. All I need, all I want, for you to say you will. You ain't even gotta say yes. Just, I will. And it'll be done. We'll make it official. We'll sign the marriage license in my jacket. And we'll get it done. We'll do something big. Make them all eat their shitty lives up in front of us. Can you imagine my old man bringing you a fucking wedding gift? Come on. Say I will.
You're fucking
It's like
crazy,
that.
you know that? You're fucking crazy, but I fucking love you anyway. Okay, yeah.
Just like that. A few syllables. All the best intentions. And Nancy's life was over. Full heartfelt endorsement of her love and his love. That was over. They didn't even have the decency to bury you when it was done. They didn't even have the decency to put you out of your misery. No, they made you suffer all these years in the absence of the joy that should have come. A happy ending. You could have went out like Bonnie and Clyde. You could have went out like John Dillinger. You could have made it quick, several hundred bullets, and knowing that you stood up to the monsters of the world, and yet just the opposite of that. And that cologne, that hair product, that rigid, long form pressed against you. Everything old is new again.
Realizing whose arms she's in, and at least that part of where they are. She takes a deep breath and lets it out, and snuggles herself deeper into his chest and kind of kisses him on the chin. If I'm dreaming, I don't want to wake up just yet, okay? So don't tell me if I'm not dreaming.
Wouldn't think of it. But we do gotta get moving. I'm gonna bring your girl down here any minute now. Sun's been down for a few minutes. And then he snuggles in, pulls you close, and sits up with you as if you weigh nothing, as if you are as much a part of him as his right arm. Martha, there is a cost for everything. There is a full-fledged premium on everything. The cost that is the most expensive is an investment. Because time, no matter how much you have, no matter how much you spend, is the one thing that you will never have again. Time is a impossibly expensive commodity that most people piss away without even thinking about it until it's far too late. They spend all of their time making money, ruining their health. And then once they've accumulated vast or somewhat less than vast fortunes, they deplete those fortunes to try to reclaim their health so that they can have more time. The darkness around you only drives that home, only drives that nail into your being. You are alone in the desert with kindred that have been nothing but costly to your existence. Your patience depleted. Boundaries and lines that you've placed for yourself have been crossed nearly non-stop since your sojourn with them. And you are alone here in hell. Because that's the only thing that this could be. You knew that the earth, this place, this garden of earthly torments that you've existed on, according to your indoctrination and to your philosophy of worship, is in fact hell. But you've never had to experience it so succinctly as you have these last few days and weeks with this group of kindred. They've made you worthy of ascension. They've helped your demons win. That's exemplified by being here in this purgatory, this darkness, this absence of all things, and hearing a murmur. That's the peaceful meditation you begin your evenings with. Long way round, Martha. What do?
I try to see where I am, make sure haven't been thrown in a jail cell when I was out of it.
No, worse. You're still where you were standing when the sun broke the horizon line. You know that because you pressed yourself firmly in the corner of the room so no one can sneak up behind you, no one can do anything except for come directly at you. While the dark was all around you, you hoped that your ability to see beyond seeing would have been enough heads up to keep you undead. Same wall is to your left, same wall is to your right, the same unaccustomed scent of other kindred so close to each other they could touch, filling your nostrils. The same dried, no longer sticky crud sticking to you from the sand and the atmosphere and the humidity and just the horribleness that you've all experienced out there in the desert. Same grit. You are exactly where you died. That place has a name. It's called Hell.
Suppose I should go look around and see if Anastasia ever turned up.
Yep. You need to do something because, well, you know, there's always a cost for doing things. There's always a surcharge, a premium for having things accomplished. And you created another potential angel in the night. You crossed a line. You sin that is borderline unforgivable. And you only say borderline because only these guys know, and they're not worshipful. only these guys know, and well, you wouldn't have if not for their actions that led to it, and yet you did do it. And almost as if your soul understands how damning that is. The voice of your guardian angel doesn't whisper to you presently. It hasn't grown louder or closer to you. You are alone in this room with these kindred.
Where are the others? I asked them.
Do you have gleam of red eyes? Do you have shadow sight or whatever it is from Oblivion?
I am a Tremere who has heightened senses.
Yeah, you smell them. You feel their lack of warmth. And you know that this room is, as it was, sealed with you and them. Seeing them is not an option because it is in fact pitch black. But you smell the dirt, blood, and grime that stuck to most of them, many of them. You smell the moldering kindred corpse that was left there. You smell the mineral oil and gunpowder that covers one of the members, two of the members actually.
Thank you for remembering me.
You know they are out there in the dark, just like Lucifer, waiting for you to misstep so they can lead you further into hell.
No. All the same, I think I'm going to have to go join them.
As you cross the floor to them, is there a particular scent that you try to get next to speak with? Or do you just pick a body at random?
Ryan, I guess, if he's there.
Oh, he is. You feel his draw. Even as he's perfectly silent and present, you feel the very green energy flowing off his dead body. So making your way across the floor to where he died for a day. You know those moments, those mornings when the cock crows and the sun shines and you feel as if all is going to be right with the world? You feel the absolute opposite of that presently. You officially, one and all, joined a conspiracy to destroy not one prince level kindred, but two. You all officially gave your word that you would indeed, in action, help carry out the assassination of two prince level kindred. The realities of that are just now hitting you because you are in a completely pitch black room. With these same individuals.
Yeah. So for Ryan, there's very much a moment of whenever he wakes up, just trying to clarify with himself that he is, in fact, in that very same room with everybody, and not just black bagged somewhere. And it's the sensation of. We'll continue.
No. Oh, you definitely are. The stench from the moldering injured corpse is still there. The gases released when the gun is fired in a closed space are still very much there. There's no way for it to leave. And what's your technology, by the way?
Let me check. It's gonna be a 0 for me.
Okay. So the thought of how that is possible, meaning there's no circulation in this room, doesn't quite pop up into your mind. But the fact that you can still smell the gunpowder in the air and the gases released when the gun was fired lets you know you very much are still in that same room.
Yeah. And Ryan's an incredibly perceptive man, so with the lack of sight being available to him, it makes every other sense, specifically scent, since we do in fact have a rotten corpse in here with us, overly active. And I imagine as Martha closes in on him, you can also hear the rustling of fabric and the clodding of foot upon ground. And once he's confident, he takes those few panic moments to establish where he is. He just kind of turns towards the noise, like, hello? Which one of you is that? He says, just kind of reaching out into the dark.
Martha.
Oh, okay, Martha, what, everybody else? Yeah, no, I can smell you, you're all here. Well, that was honestly a bloody relief. I thought I was going to be stuck in some kind of broom closet or something last night. What did you need, Martha?
I was thinking we should probably get going with the day. I need to find Anastasia.
Ah, you mean get going with the night? And yes, we do need to find your little, unfortunate. Why did you say that name? Do you have any clue how to get out of this room?
Not even slightly.
Well, I guess we've got to wait for the lovebirds to get up then.
Yeah.
You, want to play patty cake until they do?
Sure.
Alright, I'm over here, just sit on down. It might help me locate my way in this room. And then just kind of, I suppose, and until everybody else rouses and gets to shambling about. Patty cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can.
So needless to say, you guys keep missing each other's hands.
Yes, it's terrible. You know, I do not think about how difficult this would be completely blind. I think there was a critical error in my thought process. But still, this is kind of fun.
It's not like we can do rock, paper, scissors without the light.
I don't like. I would have to feel your result, and that wouldn't work either. We could play I Spy, but I think that'd be rather droll.
Yeah.
And she's just snickering to herself. I'm alright, just turn the lights on, please.
Ah, there you are.
They would just get into the gut parts. Normally, people fall down or trip over themselves one way or the other. Even though I went out of my way to fucking show these guys. Maybe we made a mistake. And the lights come up, summoned like a vassal or a genie from days of old. And you are, in fact, in the exact same spartanly furnished and decored room. The corpse, the former kindred, still moldering in the same position. The true horrors of what you all died in settling in, because the smoke, the discharge from the firearm is very much still floating in the air, almost as if it was frozen in time, like each of you during the day. Carol's body, having reached its ripe old age before the embrace, only further dawn, showing its truer age. And surprisingly, Carol has left an actual fleshy skeleton of a corpse. It's not dust. It's not some pile of semi-solid mucus, the sloughed skin and moist, almost far too bendy bones that were left in some swamp area. No, nothing like that. No, he's just semi-solid flesh hanging from the skeleton of his corpse. You all were sure that as strong as he was, or the rumors of his existence, that he would have left dust, or at least just bone. But the fact that his corpse is still a corpse is a little disconcerting. He was a bogeyman. He was the thing under the bed. He was... And then it begins to dawn on each of you. Any of you who have a cult of at least one realizes that a good deal of Kirill's existence in the land of the damned was as a fucking ghoul. His years of terrorizing kindred, and he still had the benefit of the day. There's something wrong about that.
Just as the lights come on and the true horror show that is Kirill's body is revealed, Ryan he's not really capable of it. Or at least not of properly eating anymore. It is very much the dry heave of just, oh, by Poseidon's barnacle-laden ballsack, that's ugly! Dear God! Can we get out of here now? I don't want to be near that.
You're not near it. You're good.
Well, whatever you say, boss.
Relax. It's not like you gotta clean up on nothing. I got guys for that. Speaking of guys for that, your and as soon as he says there's a all too gentle knock on the door, as you all can hear. No, but would you be so kind as to plead and beg for your life? No? Okay.
Tech issues? Oh, boy.
Yeah, I just had myself on mute.
There we go.
What are you doing? Where are you taking me?
And as that is what you all hear on the outside of the door with the knock, there's something else that settles in. Something that becomes a little more apparent. Up until the knocking and the lights turning on, there was no other sound in this room, from outside or inside. Somehow the light turning on released at least a portion of a lock, or some soundproofing, because now you all can hear outside of this room. And he uses the same remote, and you can hear boats sliding quickly out of place. And then he goes to the door and opens it, looking at Anastasia in yesterday's clothing, the detritus of her death all about her, the rough and tumble, several tumbles through the nighttime sands all about her. He looks at his guys and head nods and takes one of the poles, just one, having them release the other two holding her in place, guides her into the room, closing the door behind.
Well, Martha, I guess that solves one of your problems. I suppose you should go see to her then.
Why is that one? Why is this one of your problems? I thought you all. We'll talk. I'm sure that we will. For the meantime, we gotta get you all back to Las Vegas. It's gonna drive the old man fucking crazy. And then we gotta check on your friend somewhere along that way. And I need you all to go back to your lives as best as possible. Make as big a scene that you are back on the scene as possible. And then after we sort this matter out. Once we sort this matter out, we'll get you guys back ensconced in your lives so that the fears of your thumb in your nose at the authority that would have otherwise interjected and interdicted your continued existence.
I love that plan, I really do. But there is one small speed bump. The only reason why we were even out at Prem was because one of Fancy's friends was being more or less held at knife point.
Yeah, well, we'll deal with that. But first, this, and we'll deal with your beings at knife point.
Alright, that's fine. As long as that's kept in mind, I'm happy.
You're far too easily pleased. We're gonna have to up your quotient on happiness. You got a name?
Is he gesturing at Anastasia?
He gives the pole a little shake.
That'd be
People call me Anastasia.
I asked you what people call you. I said you got a name. What do you want to be called? What do you identify as?
roadkill.
Doesn't seem to matter now, does it?
Fancy.
Is that the way is that the way we're gonna start our fucking relationship? You really gotta be put in your place for no fucking reason.
Fancy walks up to Luca and tugs on his sleeve and pulls him down to her ear. Pulls him down to her mouth so she can speak in his ear.
Anastasia,
that's the Immortal's little
Fancy,
sister, cousin person. That's the one we came to save.
Yeah, I know.
But then,
Yeah, you told me last night.
So that's
that's fine. I was trying to. I had them bring her here. I was trying to start things off with, she introduces herself. We introduce ourselves. We have a little conversation without me having to flex any muscles. We don't have to exert any effort. We keep things cordial. But if you want to be a smartass about it, we can fucking go. You want to go right now, bro?
And then just at the end of that, Anastasia, I know you might be panicking and this might be all really strange and whatnot, but he's not the one you want to fuck with.
Hard to be cordial when I've got this fucking thing around my chest.
Honestly, I think it should really put into perspective the situation that you're in.
It should have been, but some people take a couple of knots upside the head to get it. This is for your safety as well as to keep me from having to put your safety at risk. You don't know how you're gonna fucking behave, and right now you're behaving reprehensible. So, cordiality breeds friendship, can grow into fucking respect. This respect is treated in kind. I fucking match energy.
Martha, you might want to go take care of your kid.
Oh, this is your doing. So you're the one that killed her. You're the one that gave her the gift of forever with this.
It was
This fucking great. You know what? And he hands the pole off to whoever's gonna take it, otherwise he just lets it drop. I got things to do. I'll be back in a half an hour. Straighten this shit the fuck out. Fancy, these are your guys, and I hate to do it to them, but you know I will fucking bury each and every last one of them.
I'm nice.
You ever heard of the feeling one fight, we all fight, one go down, we all fucking go down?
Alright.
This is your problem. You all will die together. I fucking swear to you.
Understood, Captain. The shit goes down with us all.
Yes. You know I love you. I will fucking marry you. Straighten this out for me. Whatever you gotta do. If I come back and there's one fewer less, that's perfectly fine. But, and I would prefer to keep the exact letter of our agreement so I don't have to bury anybody. It's far cheaper if I do more than one, but I don't want. I'll have some guys come down, remove the corpse. I'll take care of the facility, and then I'll arrange your transportation and we can talk on the way if there's any of us to talk. And he storms.
Alright, so as he just leaves, that was fucked. That was very nearly a clusterfuck. We only dodged it by a hair, and I would like to continue to dodge it. So, Anastasia, what do you need in order to calm the fuck down?
I'm perfectly fucking calm.
Nope, you're not.
You went thing first and an armed patrol. That's your idea of calm?
Yeah, you tried and wake up the way I did.
We have several times.
In a cell with, chains around you and then people coming at you with pole arms or whatever the fuck those were. Sure, you've done that.
Actually, I did that even before I stopped my heartbeat. Something about dealing with the mafia and whatnot doesn't necessarily lead towards a very kind life. But beyond that, have you ever heard of the fight or flight response? I believe you have. You, right now, are in fight mode. The problem is, you're punching a mountain. You're only liable to make it landslide on top of you. So why don't you just stop punching the mountain?
Yeah, I don't look like I'm punching anything.
Okay, if we're gonna get into the literal here, you are literally about to get us all killed.
And this is my responsibility. How?
Alright, Fancy, I'm gonna eat her if she doesn't shut the fuck up. Martha, you take care of your kid. You've got... He looks down at his watch. 29 minutes to figure that out. 28, I'm gonna say, because I don't exactly want him to walk in the middle of it.
Nancy sighs softly, because she's been pouting since her husband left. She goes over to Anastasia and, yanks the pole arm thingy around her chest free and just tosses it across the room. Better?
A little. What the fuck is going on here? You're gonna have to walk me through this, step by step from what the fuck happened last night. Last thing I know, there were some people in some bad zombie costumes running at my building.
So you have no idea what you were fucking with the documents you stole?
Did I say that was the last thing I remember? No, I said the last thing I remember were some fucking zombies rolling up on my place. God, are they all fucking idiots?
Okay, so this is what happened. Your brother got into bed with some pretty evil people and took something very, very important from them and several other people that could get him killed. And in a way, it did get him killed, and you along with it. The thing was, when we came to your house trying to get you away from the weird zombie people that you saw, you decided to fucking run into the desert with no vehicle and got yourself shot. Do we remember that part?
I mean, it seems to me if there's weird zombie people rolling up on me, the respectable, rational thing to do would be to get the fuck out.
Fair enough. Won't argue with that. But what happened after that was, again, you got both of yourselves killed. But what happened is this one, she points back to Martha, decided to try to save you because we needed at least one of you to live. And she's a doctor, and she brought you back into the state that you're in now. And then we had to leave because we were being chased by the cops. We got into a car accident in the middle of the desert, walked here, and found this place. And then you...
So you can see, like, the process of filtering going through her head on her face. So someone killed me. And then this happened. Well, ain't that just fucking great?
Yeah, welcome to the life. And now we have to be very nice and very polite with that gentleman that just left. Otherwise, we're all gonna die again.
If I'm already dead, then I fail to see how that's a problem.
Honestly, I'm starting to agree with you. I really don't know why it is a problem.
Have you ever seen the movie A Wonderful Life? Where that guy learns a lesson about his life and that people would miss him if he were gone and he gets a second chance. That's kind of like this.
Yeah, I'm more remembering of Mice and Men.
Now, I'm no religious expert, but I'm fairly certain that once you're dead, you're supposed to stay dead.
Congratulations, you've been proven wrong.
You're gonna have to tell her eventually.
Yeah, no, sure. Martha! Tell the girl what she's won!
Well, you know, immortality is not the worst thing. I mean, you can do some really long-term investments and get rich pretty easily.
Alright, we're down to 22 minutes. You're a fucking vampire.
Say what now?
What now?
No, he's a fucking comedian.
I was at one point.
You see, he's going
Yeah,
through her purse
shows.
and opens up a compact and shows it to Anastasia. Smile.
smile.
Notice
I
any
don't
looks
see
wrong
anything
on you.
different.
You had
She
fangs
has
before?
the flawed. She has the flawed baby teeth, so she doesn't have fangs.
Uh-oh.
Well, that just sucks for you. She
I
smiles
don't see
herself,
anything different.
points to her fangs.
Yeah, I know a dentist that can do that.
Alright, just stop debating what we say, because it is what it is. Understand it's a little bit of a culture shock, but unfortunately we don't have a lot of time to orient you to it.
You know, whose fucking fault is that?
Ha! Ha ha ha! Not mine. So, how about at the very least, you pretend like what we're saying is true, and you pretend like this is a life or death situation, and you pretend like you give a shit. And then
About
once we're out
one,
of here,
2, 3 people I just met who may or may not have killed me. Yeah, I care about that. Why?
Actually, we've met before, and your brother.
Have we?
Yeah, Fancy Fisher of Fancy Fisher's Dance Academy.
Rings a vague bell.
Vague bell. The woman who raised you, who took you and Anton as her own. Your no good gambling father, who married her as his third wife, took very good care of you all, given the resources at her capability. She kept you all at the very cusp of poverty instead of in the full throes of it. She worked nights, mornings, and afternoons. And at night and morning, she worked at the Fancy Fisher Dance Academy. On several occasions, you and Anton had visited her there or were carried there with her in tow, as she did her absolute best to provide for you all, give you all the opportunity of pulling yourselves up enough to get bootstraps to further raise your situation. You managed to do so legally, or well, mostly legally. You do occasionally let some of the units be used as bachelor pads for those divorcee on the police force who need to place the flop. But outside of that, outside of bending the laws, you stayed on the side of good, or at least legal. Anton, however, was not so gifted with staying on the straight and pseudo narrow. He was good and reckless and brave and unwilling to not risk it all. His goal was literally to attain wealth or die trying, and he wanted to be the last one to die. The guns he carried, the circle of associates he hung out with, his friends who were in the life, which is what they called it. And the example of good and willing to do and constantly doing was your mother. Not the biological woman that brought you into existence, but the woman who risked her health, her well-being, and literally danced for dollars to keep you and Anton as hale and healthy as possible. That was made possible because of her employment at the Fancy Fisher Dance Academy.
My mom worked for you.
Still does.
Or
And she's very important to me.
and she knows about all of this.
No. She doesn't know about this motions to the whole entirety of kindredness. She's very much kept on the periphery of it for her own safety. But unfortunately, your brother's doings have gotten her kidnapped. And we are trying to get her back.
Something which we can accomplish if we cooperate with Mr. Tall, Handsome, and Scary.
She just arch an eyebrow. Clearly unimpressed with you, but she's listening to Fancy.
18 now?
Ma got kidnapped.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
And
your brother dropped
Mr.
something
Pretty
off.
is the one that
Yeah.
can save her.
Yes. Yes. So,
Fine, I will play nice for now.
you know what? That works for me. You are your own person, despite being a newborn.
I'm sorry, Fancy. I've got to cut you off there. If you give her an improper foundation, then the rest of our time with her is going to be an absolute fucking nightmare. Martha, Anastasia, consider this as if you've been reduced back to childhood. Everything you do can and will reflect badly on Martha. Martha is your sire, your mum, or the vampire equivalent of it. She's your Dracula. And at least in this occasion, should be the one handling this, but I think she's just as shocked as you are about this whole situation. So, thank you for being willing to play nice while we're here. But I do want to make it clear that once we get out of here, the one who's going to be holding your leash is her. And if you decide to run off the leash, the one who's going to get the shit for it is her.
Yep, that's why I'm pretty indifferent to them pitching the idea of eating you.
So, when Fancy said you're your own person, that was a very pretty lie.
A somewhat mischievous smile plays over her lips.
There is also the fact that, like I was pointing out about your mother, she doesn't know all of what it is that I am and that what we do. And that is the way our kind like to keep it. If humans were to find out entirely that we exist, the Second Inquisition would be a thing. And we would take as many of you down as we could. So, it's best if we all keep things close to the best when you're around what
Right.
you used to be.
Right, because no one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
And I think it's good to keep her with a separation between so on and so forth. So it's not that we're going to take as many of you down, and we're going to take as many of them down. You're already part of this club. I honestly wish we had a much longer time to give you a very nice and calm and quiet introduction to all of these things, because usually I'm not much of a bother. But, and he looks back at his watch, we're kind of somewhat on a deadline. And I just need you to understand as much of what you are and what the situation is as possible before said deadline comes about. We can save teaching you politics and how to feed and all that until later.
Oh,
Especially given that there's
feeding's
nothing in
easy.
here to eat.
I can show you exactly how that's done. And Fancy will very quickly and quietly walk close to Anastasia as she can, looking her in the eyes, reaching up to caress her face and pull her down, being pretty strong, and then bite into her.
Oh. Looks at his watch, looks to what's happening. We had 15 more minutes. I suppose that's going to be...
Well, that is a mechanical issue.
Mhm.
Let's settle that now and see how that works out. Strength plus bar, unless of course Anastasia is caught off guard and just goes with the flow. Not like it wouldn't be the first time she spent a lovely few hot and heavy moments with a woman, making it to
Right?
second base, maybe more if they're willing to put on a show or don't care about privacy. But you know, would she resist, or would she think that this is a bang you later into the understanding, or a public secret to seal the deal? You know, seal it with a
She,
kiss.
considering, everything else that she's been through in the last few hours, she's probably just like, what the fuck ever. It is what it is.
All
Good
right,
with
that being
the
the case, excellent. Would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your resolve plus composure? Your hunger is 2, so go ahead and work that in there, and that sets the DC that Fancy's charisma and strength will have to beat to approximate the effects of the kiss. Is her first time just toe curling, mind erasing good, or is this the I've had better?
Damn, Fancy. He said you might be mid.
I mean, with a 6 die pool, I don't.
Hey, alright. I've rolled a 10 die pool before and come out with 1 success, so, full speed ahead. I wish you luck.
Ooh.
Yep, full speed ahead.
Is it difficulty 3 or?
Oh yeah, you can use 0 difficulty because it's just contested. All right. Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Anastasia. So I'm going to let you. What What has been Anastasia's happiest moment? What has been her pinnacle of joy?
Um, let's see. I don't know. Maybe the, stray dog that she befriended, and it was, basically her pet, even though she wasn't necessarily allowed to have pets.
And her best meal. Her best meal.
Um, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe. Maybe the first time she had curry.
And the last time she had a toe curling release.
Oh, that probably wasn't too very long ago, really.
Inflate them all together. Toss them into the washing machine with a magnifying agent. So instead of a free-flowing creek, it's a full-fledged geyser. Instead of the stomach juices, the gastronomic pleasure received from eating, instead of it filling her up and warming her, it sets her on fire. Instead of her moment of joy being a parasympathetic relationship with an animal, she's Snow White. Instead of it being a one-sided relationship with the animal engaged her. The dog told her its life story, the story of how its mother and father got together and how it managed to survive, and the great stories and adventures that it's had, and dial that up several different magnitudes. And that's what that's what the fangs sinking into her throat, because she's cognizant enough to realize that Fancy bit her, but it was that love bite that causes all those warm butterflies and tingles to run through the nervous system. But it was so much more than that. In that moment, bent at an angle and held as if she was nothing more than a swaddling babe, all of the greatest moments of her existence pale by comparison to being held in Fancy's strong, capable arms. Everything that she was snaps into focus as being underwhelming. Everything that she had known and the excesses that she's been exposed to by living so very close to Vegas pale in comparison to the feel of Fancy's slightly cool lips against her neck, feeling Fancy's arms holding her firmly, of having the physiological autonomic responses of the greatest pleasure she's known without the ruining of her clothes. There is literally a before and an after. And after, the only thing that matters is staying in this moment a few seconds longer. A few reverberations and life quaking moments longer. And everything before it, second place at absolute best.
Delightful. Now, is Fancy actually taking a sip?
She'd probably take her down. She's only at 2, so it's more like a little snack down to 100. Show her what it's all about, and then pull away and lick the wound.
Ah. So,
Um,
so you do take a drop.
Right. Just as a side note, she does have the merit catenating blood, which gives her the ability to form blood bonds as a normal vampire.
Yeah. So Fancy, who already likes you somewhat more. Or hates you. Because remember, strong feelings. The catenating blood as a thin blood only lasts one life, so she'll be fine. It'll be fine. What's the worst can happen? Fancy decides the best place for you is inside of her stomach, inside of her being, living with her forever. But we shall see. We shall find out.
Dear God, that is a really nightmarish twist on maternal instinct.
Oh no, it gets better because she can actually embrace other vampires.
As
With
thin
that
blood?
merit. Yes, with that merit, yeah. It creates
That's-
blood bonds or embrace.
That's terrifying.
So released
Alright, well,
or not.
Anastasia will be a little swoony.
And she's kind of like dabbing at her lips very politely, like a lady should. And looks at Anastasia, kind of holding her hands in both of her own. Do you understand a little better now? What we're talking about. What we can do. I hope so. I love that smile on you right now, and she pats her cheek.
I don't really know how to feel about this kind of situation, but you know what? You ladies, do what you're gonna do. I'm gonna go sit over here.
Does anybody else need to eat?
I'm hungry.
Kind of winks. And did Luca leave the door unlocked?
No. 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 He wants you guys right where he needs you. If he has to go ahead and put you down, it's much easier cleaning up one room than several. This guy's already worked too hard. You know, you probably need a break. And at this very moment, across the facility, he is literally helping expedite the dissection of the remaining bodies into cutlets and tenderloin and chicken livers and gizzards and rounds steak and cubed steaks and the bodies that were dropped because of the escape attempt and the cordoning off of that section of this facility. All of those bodies are being processed into chops and steaks and cutlets and sent to butcher stores in their control from Prim to Vegas. All of those lovely buffets being stocked and filled with cooked to order tartare or steaks and chops or lobster tails or shrimp. And there's a horrible, horrible understanding that this facility has. They understand that the reason for all of the buffets in Vegas is because of moments like this on much smaller scales, but very much they are stocked with all of the bits and pieces that are still salvageable from victims of the families. With that thought sitting there before us, it is exactly 58 after the hour. Let's come back at 8 after. So, the facility where you all are, east of Prim, outside of its municipal reach, in the middle of the desert, surrounded as it is by a moat of molten hot energy. Alone in the dark, is one of many such facilities around the nation and the world that provides an excess of butchered goods and services, and one of the few non-aligned with the circulatory system processing plants. Comes with his own sort of built-in premiums, charges, and taxes. Normally, a facility like this, similar to this, would only be up and running for a year, maybe 5, because of the sheer manpower, energy, and funding required to keep it off book, making the profits almost impossibly small in regards to sheer finances. Esteem within the Kindle community, however, is a little different. The esteem from these facilities is immeasurably high. Nothing like providing services and goods reliably that help to mask the existence of kindred. Blood, the meat, the Asian. This facility, unlike all of the others, is not a fly-by-night or a fly-by-decade. This facility is built to last. It is staffed and maintained and provides energy to the outlying region. All of its surplus energy goes into the grid, and it's able to operate as an energy provider, both for kindred and mortal. It is outside of the domain of any other kindred save itself, meaning that it gets to decide who lives, who dies. It gets to decide on whom leaves its premises. The right of life and death is in the hands of this facility, and by extension, its owners. It's a fortress and a bank and a resource. It is a treasure trove unto itself. The only thing that it's lacking is political backing to ensure it against, well, someone taking it. And it just so happens that even that has been considered. It has aligned itself and is working hand in hand with the prince. Attacking it would be an assault on his good graces. Endangering it would summon the full focus of his anger and enmity. But enough about the rules of the road. Inside the room, moments later, Luca enters, boat, causing the boats to slide out of place and the door to open for him as he steps back inside. So, my guy's cleaning up one body or more.
Kind of just looks over to Anastasia.
She is just sitting down in a corner on the floor, with her arms crossed, kind of pouting like a child.
Just the one, Amore, the one that we killed last night. She's fine, I promise.
Good. I hate to waste resources. You know this. Waste not, want not, and all of that. So, we're going to... And he holds up a finger, turns back to the door, uses the remote, and ushers a couple of guys in who immediately go over, and they're wearing effectively Ghostbuster neutron packs, except for they're filled with cleaning solutions and water. And they spray the body down, coating it in a milky peroxide scented spray. And as they empty their packs on the body, and there's all of these foaming bubbles and milky, just, it's an ungodly amount of liquid that should be causing a mess, but it's for the most part clinging and sliding across and sticking to the corpse's clothes, the wall, the floor beneath it, and not pooling outward like water normally would. It's kind of holding itself together. They back away, and as they back away and change out the nozzles and move the hose to a different part of the pack, another two walk in, lift the body up, roll it over into some plastic, roll it up, and the others begin, once their hoses are reattached to a different portion of the pack, spraying down the area, and the milky peroxide scented solution begins cooling and congealing, and they just begin scraping it up. Seconds, and they've completely erased the existence of a kindred. A different matter for what's in the plastic, because it's that you see the plastic is far thicker than it should be. It looks like a tarp, a simple painter's cloth, but no. Once they have it rolled up and both ends roughly sealed, the hammers on their belt, which had only begun being questioned as you all saw them reach for it, and they began crushing and breaking the bones of the kindred inside. Blows raining down, and you're hearing the crack and smash and crackle. And
So
once there's...
they're treating it like a fucking store-bought ice bag.
Yes. Very much so. And once they've managed to break and pulverize what's inside, they roll the plastic up smaller. So it is not the almost 6.5 feet of kindred corpse. It's just a pile of bones. A pile of dusty, bone-flavored rocks. And off they go. The efficiency with which they move lets you know this is not the first time they're doing so. Once they're gone, he moves to the glove seat, sits down, picks at his hands, making sure that the pressed line is perfectly straight, smooth, no wrinkles. Once they leave, he hits the remote, the door closes, So we gotta get you all back to to Vegas. And I got a couple of trucks going there tonight, so I can get you guys back to Vegas. Is there anything besides this kidnappee that we need to worry about for you in Vegas?
Fancy, you don't think that the police will actually be looking into the whole roadside Mad Max movie thing that we did, do you?
I mean, there's a chance, but who would believe them?
I mean, it is Vegas.
Yeah, you guys got hit by the pirates, huh?
Mm-hmm. They didn't like what we
Don't
did
worry
in
about that. We got
return.
no understandable. When I got back roads, you guys will be fine. There's a route not far from here that I can get you guys back to Vegas, back to a semblance of normalcy, so that the Benedict don't see what's coming, and especially Montrose don't see what's coming. There's a lot of people got a lot of fingers, and we got a lot of tourists. It's a fucking mess. So first things first, your boy, the Immortal, was hired for a job. We need his proceeds, and I have it on good authority that you, and he points toward Anastasia, I have an idea where he stashed this. You want to just give me an address, or you want to take these guys there?
Do I have an idea of where he stashed them?
You're asking OOC, correct?
Yes. I'll take these guys.
Okay, we can make that work. He stands up, moves to Fancy, literally lifts her with one arm around her waist, plants a kiss that makes you all blush. It's the sort of kiss that Mom and Dad had during their honeymoon. It's the sort of kiss that is uncaring as to who notices. It's the sort of kiss that is a promise. Not many kisses these days are of that level, of that shared intimacy and connection. But when they are very much a moment that makes you feel uncomfortable. Not because you're seeing anything indecent, quite the opposite. You're seeing actual truth in a way that most people are unable to, as a statement of not only would I die for you or kill for you, but I would live for you as well. It's the sort of kiss that no matter how jaded you are, no matter how loving you are, you realize what's missing from your life. All of those empty little holes, those small pinprick or window-sized holes where another soul, another person could align, another person could fit. All of the scars and wounds from where people once did. That's the sort of kiss you all witness. He sets her down. I'll be back in a few minutes. Anybody need anything?
A little bit of that.
She tongue-tied a little bit, but she hold on. Our newest compatriot could use a little bit to eat, Lovey.
Okay. I got any dietary restrictions?
No?
Not that I can tell so far.
Being perfectly honest, I'm not sure that they would know if they have any dietary restrictions quite yet.
So possibly. So we need the baby food. Okay.
Mm.
I'll be back.
Fancy, darling, why do you gotta make us so jealous?
Look, I have been waiting 50 some odd years for that one. So I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, okay?
Honestly, if you keep going like that, I'll start feeling like I was waiting 50-something years. My dry spell's not even a week, and I still feel like I'm part. Well, anyways, Anastasia, ye are mentally prepared for what's next, yeah? I'll take that as a no. Or a yeah. You're gonna bite into somebody and drink their blood. Okay.
She's just staring at him.
Oh no, Fancy, I think it broke. I think you broke her.
He's still blushing and giggling. What can I say? I got a little bit of a sway both ways.
I guess so. You know, I bet this is gonna be like one of those nigh catatonic patient things. We'll just stick it up to her mouth and see if instincts kick in.
Looking towards Martha, are you okay with that?
Why wouldn't I be?
I don't know, maybe you want to feed her from your own tap? I've known some sires that are like that. Make sure to
Yeah,
chew up the food like a mama bird.
Well,
Goddamn it, Anastasia. I mean, it's entirely up to you. She's your kid.
No, it's not. Do you have any wine glasses or any?
We certainly do have a lot of wine, though. Just ignore me. I'm just coping over here is all.
Kind of hear her mutter, "Yeah, join the fucking club."
Well, you're the one that joined our club. But suffice to say, I know it might be a little bit weird, but I think you'll understand it a lot better once you get the taste. Instincts will kick in.
Storyteller, I'm assuming that Eugene has been either considered missing or just standing there silent this whole time.
Silence. So it takes a little bit longer than expected with the efficiency that you've all seen. The efficiency that you've all seen and been victim to, you'd expect a quick return to be one of barely double-digit seconds. But it takes a full 6.5 minutes. A long 6.5 minutes. But when he returns, he tosses you effectively an adult Capri Sun. It is a opaque, off-white, unlabeled, plasticized pouch. Sticking from it is a fixed, hard plastic straw with a cap on the end. You just need to drink that down right now. Can't leave here, and they can't go with you.
Okay, he'll grab it, kind of look over it, inspecting it.
Oh, this is gonna be nastier than the corpse, he says, looking away from the bag.
And assuming she finds nothing wrong with it, as she's inspecting it very, very thoroughly because this guy did threaten to kill her, she will take a sip.
It should be disgusting. It is barely above room temperature. It is quickly cooling on the tongue. It feels like watery oatmeal. Yet, despite all of that semi-solid pulpy feel to it, the mouthfeel is just indescribably less than great. The taste, however, just below body temperature. Not quite chilled, but cool and cooling. And it's as if you stuck a finger in an electric socket, and instead of being jolted and shocked into next week, everything becomes easier to tolerate. The edge of your anger becomes rounder and rounder. The depression that's settling across your shoulders like a cold, damp blanket becomes lighter instead of heavier. The insanity of the world around you begins to make far too much sense. And all is right with the world. Temporarily. You very much feel like that hangry kid at summer camp who finally has a bite to eat. As much as he pissed and moaned about everything sucking, and this is ridiculous, and I want to go home, the moment he gets the lunch in him, maybe I can stick it out. It's not that bad. The pool was nice. The river was better. And oh my God, I really did get a hit, at least when we were playing softball. It's not really as bad as I thought. I think maybe that's what it feels like. The taste, however, not what you expect. The mouthfeel being odd is one thing, but the melanin sweetness, the aftertaste of something slightly metallic, but not metallic like a shaving or anything. It feels as if you have peppermint cinnamon candy laced with something else considerably harder resting there on your tongue. It's coppery and irony, and it's unctuous. It's not quite umami. It's not, because it's missing that spice, but it is so very close. You're missing a bit of maybe a hint of something crunchy, a little fried, but it is far too delicious to be something coming out of a unmarked, opaque bag. You've all go on.
Go ahead. She's
No,
just
go on.
gonna finish drinking it down. Maybe a little too enthusiastically.
It is far, far too good for something coming out of an unmarked bag. Nothing to really compare it against. Even you three who have been dead long enough or in the medical field long enough to have seen blood bags of plasma and whole and filtered. This is not that. This is something that, for lack of a better word, is homespun, a DIY, a life hack. This is not a blood bag. This is something else, but you all smell it as it's coating her tongue as she takes a breath that she doesn't need to better get purchase on the bag and pull more of it into herself. This is just a little wrong because you all smell what you shouldn't smell if it was a blood bag. There's no separation of plasma like blood cells. It's not filtered through some machine and broken down for storage. This looks like something that was pumped fresh. This looks like something that is full whole and not the watered down, chemically altered stuff that most people have for blood bags.
Oh! Well, that's that, I guess.
She will finish up and very uncouthly rub her mouth with the back of her sleeve.
Why is your mouth bleeding?
Alright, what was that?
Why is your mouth bleeding? That's an awful lot of blood. That's not just a bleeding gum or a bit tongue. That's a lot.
Okay.
You okay over there?
I'm doing fine. I'm just, packing my things up.
Minutes later, you guys are.
I broke my nails yesterday. I need a new outfit.
And what were we saying now, Bill?
20 minutes later, you guys are in Jean, Nevada. You're literally right on the border of California. You circumvented most of Prim as best as you could to get there. However, as is the case in such things, all roads lead to Rome. And in your case, all roads lead through Prim. You're on the northwestern portion of Prim. You're out past the IHOP, out there off the road that leads into California and doubles back into Nevada. It is that Jean is that much on the border that what makes Prim look like Vegas. Jean is a town of exactly 65 people. It's the perfect place to disappear, provided you don't let anyone see you all. On the outskirts of Jean, you're in the jurisdiction of both Nevada State Police and California State Police. But you're so far outside of Prim and any other place large enough to bother with that unless, of course, they are called because you are video calling them with a body, and even then, it's more likely that you'd have Fish and Wildlife or Park Services instead of an actual police officer. The property is managed by Anastasia and Jean are as close to off-book as you can be and still file a tax form for them. They're the extra sources of much of her income. And they are also the former, or they were housed by an actual caring adult, where her and Anton spent several lifetimes of summers. Nothing to do and no reason to do it. So them going hungry and starving and Jean was to be expected. No one cared, no one noticed. It's off the beaten path. Looking at the house where they were going to die, let's be perfectly honest. No food, very little water, in the middle of the desert. The outcome pretty much writes itself. If not for Corinne, she is sure that her and Anton would reach adulthood. If not for Corinne, you all would have been just another series of ghost stories. The children of the desert. Specters who haunt. Not for Corinne, this would have been the end. And the fact that Anton came here with whatever he came here with only aggravates you a little bit. Only brings up the ghosts from the past. Only brings up those piss poor memories. It's literally like looking at your gravestone.
Just further proof that at any moment we can all just disappear. That it's promised immortality, not even guaranteed immortality.
Did you say that out loud?
Oh, I can. Give me a second. It's just further proof that it's not a guarantee of immortality. It's just a promise. A promise made by an awfully keen liar. Any of us can disappear at any time, and the world will keep on moving. Lovely, that.
Yeah, everyone loves a good ghost story. Over this way.
Alright, after you, I guess. It's following along.
The house is the perfect size to get lost in as a corpse. It's too small for day-to-day living. And one of the units that aren't properly maintained. Part of Anastasia hopes that it falls in on itself and is reclaimed by the desert. But unfortunately, like all bad things, it's far tougher than it seems. It's such a piss poor building. And Anastasia doesn't bother to put any effort into it, including a lock. So as she moves around the outside of the implanted trailer, the not quite double wide, it's 1.5, poorly fused together by some drunkard decades ago. The window's the only thing that really held up under any sort of pressure. If this was anywhere else in the world, the weather, the wind, the snow would have knocked it down in on itself. But because it's Gene, it manages to stand. It gets tougher with age, hardened by the sandstorms, polishing it and keeping it looking relatively clean. But it's just the opposite of it. So moving around to the back door that is supposed to be open, always, because there's no lock on it. Trying the latch to push it open causes a tremulation of fear, because it is resolute against the effort. It is, in fact, locked.
She'll turn the handle and pause for a second and frown and give it a little jiggle. This normally isn't locked.
Well,
She'll pat Brian on the shoulders like, "You're a big, strong guy. Break it in."
I am a small, effeminate Irishman. No.
Fancy, I got it. And she'll reach up into her hair and pull out one of the few hairpins she has left after everything that's happened yesterday, and go to try to pick the lock.
See, that's a much more elegant solution than just throwing meat at the wall. So anyways, what does that door being locked mean?
Fuck if I know, it shouldn't be locked.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible, honestly. Well, I'm expecting an ambush. I don't know about the rest of you.
The moment that the words filter out of Ryan's mouth, Martha, would you be so kind as to roll your wits, those auspics? As the door is jiggled and as Fancy bending lightly from the waist and working at the hicks, and has it nearly undone. Martha, there's a sound that you never hope to hear on the other side of any door. That is the very movie-worthy cocking of hammers. That's a small thing, but being so trained by movies and only having that as the real gauge of danger when it comes to dealing with firearms pointed at you, and having heard similar in the hands of Eugene, you know what that sound is. The springs engaging, the hammers moving back with that life-damning click, around sliding into the barrel. Excuse me. And you are the only one aware of it. Is there anything that you are attempting to do?
Yeah, I'll let the group know. Somebody in there's got a gun.
Well, fuck. And she sidesteps.
I'm in. Yeah, very much. We're all in danger.
Well, as Fancy's the only one moving, you guys just want to take that superficial damage? Or...
No. I would very much not like to. Alright, so -2, plus athletics. Oof, that's ugly. Ooh. And I suppose this is a reactionary roll, right?
You all wouldn't have had a roll, but Martha did warn you.
Gotcha. Thank you, Martha.
I presume my hunger's back down to 1.
Yes.
Have the -2.
That is with my -2.
Right. I meant Fancy. Even though I moved.
Ah, gotcha. I was 1 fucking point off of being able to dodge this shit. 1 point off. Ah.
The sheer amount of projectiles flying through the door is the stuff of amazement. You've seen movies about this. You've read books about this. You've seen cartoons about this. This person has put full stock into whatever firearm company that they're using, because they're literally throwing buckets and gallons of bullets through the door and the wall. And there shouldn't be anything standing once they're done. And like something and someone who is fully 100% positive that they killed them all and killed them Well, Miguel opens the door with the toe of his boot. Well, fuck. Anton was right. You motherfuckers will come looking for... And the fact that you guys aren't down, you're not on your back, there's not portions of you leaking out, is enough to have the gun begin to raise back towards a firing position. The shock and muscle memory of just which end of the gun will keep him safe is instinctual. It is reactionary. And as the gun is being brought back online, what is it that you all are doing?
I think his legs from underneath him.
Does Anastasia know him?
Yes, Miguelito Cortez, a distant friend and ally of Anton, who helped him on several occasions and purchased more armaments than he possibly could ever need. Anton wasn't very big on just overwhelming sheer force, because that's how you get years and get sent away to prison. But every once in a while, for deals that he wasn't too sure of, he had one good friend, one ally that would give the friends, the family discount and actually mean it. And that person is unfortunately on the opposite side of the gun that is being leveled at you all, preparing to, well, spew its guts out.
And working in concert with Fancy as she's going for the legs, I'm going to try and remove the gun from him.
Cortez, you motherfucker.
You know, actually, I am not the right man to try grappling for a gun. Instead, as he's going down, I'm gonna try and... Abilities happen after physical, so this might end up with me getting absolutely obliterated, but I'm gonna try and do the old forget-me-not confusionist move, you know? As he's going down, try and catch his eyes and just... You should have forgot about us! And try and use that moment of, wait a second, what the fuck was going on?
Anastasia's just hitting the floor.
Alright.
And Martha, having told everyone to get out of Dodge and got shot, is she just gonna stand there and watch it happen? Last time she got shot, didn't she kill someone and bring them back as an undead monster?
Yeah. Precedent accounted for.
Anyway, I think I'll die for cover. Like,
I think I'll get the fuck out of here.
All right, he is no longer minus the 2 for shooting through the door and the wall, so he gets his full 6 dice. Yay! Aren't you guys happy? So, order of actions of everything happening at the exact same time. Everything in situations when the shit is meeting the fan just goes flying all over the place. Fancy goes take his leg and doesn't take his leg in the way that most people would assume. She's doing unreserved, unbridled amounts of damage. As he's falling, the gun coming online, he pulls the trigger. As he's pulling the trigger, he sees Ryan standing in the way of, well, the bullets. The bullets want to be free. And Ryan is stopping. That being the case, as he hits the ground, his leg all but shattered. 3 plus 2 is 5. And so that's 3. 3 points of unaccounted for bashing damage as Fancy crashes her leg through his to send him sprawling onto his back. The crack, only slightly louder than the report of gunfire that goes spraying into the sky as Ryan takes the last few moments from the last few pulse pounding, adrenaline surging moments. Because Anton told him there'd be people coming. Anton told him to be prepared, and anyone who didn't come to the front door with Anton was in fact the enemy. And they'd come and they'd do all sorts of... All of that's gone. All of that last few moments of having proved Anton right are gone, but the door is open. He's not at the front door. He's trying to figure out what's happening, but his leg won't respond to help him get up, and the gun is still in his hand, and you all are still in the doorway, and
Anastasia gets up and goes in and kind of repeatedly kicks him in the side a little bit, like not hard enough to hurt him. But it's like, God damn it, Cortez, what the fuck are you doing?
gaping bullet wound. That's enough to hurt them mentally. Because when you shoot someone, they go down. They may not die right away, but they go down. The fact that his leg is bent at an odd angle and the strange woman, Fancy, is there with a bullet wound in her and you have a bullet wound in you, and he doesn't know how he got into the doorway and why his leg won't work. It's bent at the wrong angle. How many times are you taking him? Because that each time is going to do bashing damage, considering that moving that leg is ungodly amounts of pain.
Like once or twice, just to get the point across. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Wait, no,
You might want to drop the
fuck!
gun.
I think he still has the gun on in his group.
He very much does. No one about to take it away. And in fact, he's beginning to
Like I said,
cradle
you
it
might
as if that's his lifeline.
What are you saying, Fancy?
That's why Fancy
What?
told him you might want to drop the.
Why the fuck would I do that? Who the fuck are you? No, you. But who the fuck are your friends? And what's wrong with... Oh, fuck. That's horrible. Because it is, in fact, horrible. His bone is poking through the skin of his leg. That's not normal. And the pain coursing through him has his toes feeling as if they're being burned by acid. Acid made of fire. Because the tendons are in danger. Blood flow is in danger. And the bone sticking through his leg is a sure sign that he's been fucked up. And he doesn't realize how that happened. He has no memory of it happening. The gun is his way out.
Ryan will just kind of try and move up and help, I guess. But his method of helping is not as physical as he just... Look, you're in a shitty situation, you're hurting pretty bad, and you are surrounded by people that could go either way in continuing to hurt you or letting you go. That's all determined by whether or not you put the firearm down. Because when you're a danger to us, we're a danger to you. And if you can't tell, he kind of head nudges over to the two people with bullet wounds, or sorry, a few people with bullet wounds. One of us is actually being hindered by what just happened to them. I would hate to see what happens if that continues down that road. So why don't you just toss the gun over there and we can get your legs sorted. Or don't, and we can get the whole of you sorted.
You just kind of roll your manipulation and intimidation as high as he can.
Yeah. I figured.
Oh, it gets so much worse as you all are talking. Martha, the beauty of hitting the deck gives you the opportunity of sight. It gives you the opportunity of looking over the entirety of the scene. Looking past the very much damaged gunman on the floor in the threshold. Looking past Fancy and Ryan and Anastasia. There's literally floor to ceiling glimpses. Just past them in the doorway off to his left. Just past him off to the right. There are, from what you guesstimate, where you lay in the hot Nevada desert sand, a treasure trove of boxes. Without putting too fine a point on it. This is the mother lode. This is the fount of all of the dirty little secrets of the kindred of Las Vegas and potentially the entirety of the state of Nevada, with a portion of California thrown in just for added layer. This is the wrong sort of information that anyone should have access to. You're looking at the lives of countless kindred. He tosses the gun, and you've never seen someone so tan turn so pale and white. And you're sure that only a small fraction of it is the pain of his leg being all but broken in two. Hanging on by a thread, this would normally be a green stick fracture where the bone was slapped back into place, but unfortunately the force was enough to cause the bone to drive through the skin of the leg. So that stretching and bisecting of bone, like a branch, is still held on by various splintered rubbery pieces of the bone, but it's held apart because of the meat and muscle of the leg, because the bone poked through the skin, causing the muscles to hold that space open with the bone. You can only imagine the amount of pain that he's in as his blood, muscles, and nerves mix with the marrow of his bone.
Just when he's no longer a threat, he'll look over to Anastasia since she seemed to recognize him. Just, who is this man?
Miguel, you said you'd help my leg. Please.
You know, what were you about to say, Fancy?
Martha's a doctor.
Martha is a doctor. Martha!
Yes.
Do you want to fix him?
I'll see what I can do.
Alright. None of the funny stuff this time, though. We've already got one hanger on.
I'll be very careful.
Ian. He's a buddy of Anton's.
Oh, a buddy of Anton's. Wait, who's Anton?
The immortal.
Oh! Oh, the not so immortal.
Fuck you.
Well, baby, I'm gonna start calling you the immortal.
And she's your
And
feet.
just shake her head and roll her eyes.
What did you say there, Diva?
Watching Anastasia shake her head and roll her eyes, Fancy gets to her feet and steps close to Ryan. Too soon, Ryan, love. Too soon.
Alright. I'll wait for the month. Now, anyways, kind of looks up and towards the boxes and just, oh shit. Do we fancy? Do you? He just kind of sputtering at the sight of what is effectively the dragon's hoard of knowledge. Just, do you call your lover boy, or does he just come here, or do we bring it to him?
Did he specify which document? Because I think that's going to take a while.
I think getting him all of them is our best bet.
Agree.
Storyteller, did we make a deal with Luca about what he wants done? Does he want us to take it back to Vegas with us? Does he want us to call him to come pick it up? What are we doing?
Load it up into the van, drop it back off at the facility. Which is easy enough done. It was literally simple carrying and putting into the back of the van and the trailer hitch attached. However, and here's the however part that changes things. As you all get through most of the boxes and Martha gets through most of the healing, he's going to require surgery. But as far as just giving it a splint and keeping it stabilized, well within your ability, unless of course you want to give him a little blood that will, help the mending. The problem and the real quibble of it all is you've all moving box after box. Anastasia has a pretty strong bag, pretty heavy ability to carry. You all move box after box after box and get to the bottom of the first half wall stack that you all are working on. There's an honest to goodness coffin. Not one of the modern, just rectangular cigar boxes that bodies go into that people say are caskets, coffins. No, the tapered foot, wide shoulder, pseudo diamond coffin of old. It's clearly still filled with someone. There's a gentle rocking inside of someone trying to get out. The lock on the outside doing what locks do, preventing it from being able to be lifted.
Holy fucking shit! What did Anton get a hold of?
Friend of yours?
Open this? No, not as far. Maybe, I don't know. Do we want to open it? I kind of want to open it.
Pandora's box. Once we open it, we can't put whatever is in it back.
I mean,
unless you kill it.
The problem that I'm having here is it's a very big consideration of it might just get out on its own.
Anastasia will go over and knock on the top of it. Hey, who's in there?
Yeah, I couldn't
You're
understand
gonna have
that.
to
Did you
speak more
understand
clearly.
That is some thick fucking wood.
That's what she said.
Alright, so, Fancy, do we want to open it, or do we just want to pour some gasoline on it and leave it?
Anastasia
I
will
guess
lean
we should
over
open
and-
it.
Knock once if you're human, twice if you're a vampire.
Okay, I'm pretty sure your ability to hear them is only matched by their ability to hear you.
Since this is where Anastasia has, lived off and on, would she know if there's like a little hand drill or something she could drill a hole into the coffin with?
She knows that there isn't. She's hoping this place fell in on herself. She didn't bother to work on this particular place. The other trailers spread across town that are under her purview, under her ownership, is well kept. She makes sure the windows are clean, the place is cool. All of the shutters, when the sandstorms hit, are properly repaired. The roofs are properly shingled. The landscaping is considerably easier than anywhere else in the world, but she does her best with that as well. Fresh coats of paint, all of the pipes work. Their private cisterns and wells that they are connected with always rotted out to make sure that everything flows the way that it's supposed to. This one, however, this is a revenge. And God doesn't like her idea of revenge, because the only reason why this place is still standing is because the weather, the sand, the desert, and the sun refuse to take this place to hell.
All right, plan B. She'll go pick up the gun, check to see whether there are any shells left in it.
There are. He
All right.
reloaded, remember?
Nice. So at the foot of the coffin, where hopefully his head isn't, she will just shoot the coffin.
Oh! Wow!
Nancy just busts out laughing. We could have just put him in the van, but
And presumably now that there's, space for her to talk.
In the coffin! Let me out!
We don't
What's your name?
recognize the voice.
What's your name? Open the coffin, let me out!
My name is your fucking savior. Now your name.
My fucking savior? I'm your fucking savior. Open the coffin. Let me
Yes.
out. Let me out and I'll pay you a favor. For a favor.
Oh, wait, we get to teach her about one of the fun systems now. Hey, Anastasia, there's actually a very good kindred honor system. Favors for favors actually hold up.
So, what, he owes me his life now?
I can't tell it. I mean, yeah, you're basically saving their life, so
Cool.
I can see it being a strong one. I don't necessarily know about the last one. You two negotiate that. Martha, please go make sure she doesn't accidentally try something stupid.
I suppose.
Since, the top is basically destroyed, and the bottom, she'll just kind of drag him out the bottom.
Oh, okay, so she breaks it more and then drags him out the bottom?
Uh-huh.
Alright.
But Nancy has gone back to putting boxes in the van.
Why can't you just open the top? What's wrong with you all? You fucking losers! Seriously? Are you trying to do it the fucking hardest way possible? Do you know? And she pauses and looks at Miguel. Excuse me a minute. And she saunters over to him, crouching next to Martha. Excuse me, is he yours?
no.
Excellent. And she bites.
Is that normal?
So, I mean, yeah. I mean, we've already told you that you've got to eat people, I'm pretty sure. Martha, I told her that she's got to eat people, didn't I?
Pretty sure you told her.
Yes.
Right, but like pulling people out of coffins and them biting that's normal.
Alright, if I were to put it on a scale of like 1 to 10 on how normal it's gonna be for your foreseeable future, it's gonna be somewhere around a 6. Like, yeah, kinda, you'll run into this more than once, but not exactly in the same way, you know.
Exactly 3.5 minutes later. The furthest stretch from the idea of safely drinking. Miguel is divested of every ounce remaining in his body. And as she licks her lips and stands, about fucking time, someone. I've been sending out as many missives as possible, and you all are the ones that arrive. Thank you so very fucking much. Does anybody have a fucking car?
Yeah, no, we got a van back that way.
Excellent. I'll take the keys.
The fuck you will?
Oh my god. Fancy Fisher. So that means that we're in the ghetto of Vegas. Cool. So I could pretty much figure my way out from there, but... And she looks out the door, finally. We're not in the ghetto.
Yeah, we're not
Nope.
even in fucking Vegas. So how
understand
my
your name.
cousin catch you?
Your cousin did this to me? Are you... Your cousin is Montrose.
Oh. No,
Wait.
her cousin's not Montrose.
No.
So who's your cousin? And why the fuck is he working with Montrose or working for Montrose?
Well, he's not anymore, is he?
She's just going to hold out a single finger to Ryan.
No, sorry. You just so happened to get snagged by the world's most unlucky mercenary that I've ever heard of.
Montrose isn't a mercenary. He works for Benedict. We know
No,
this.
no.
He's the seneschal and the
I'm
sheriff.
I'm
the
aware.
Scourge,
I'm attempting to inform you of your situation. Her cousin was a mortal who stole a bunch of shit that he probably shouldn't have stolen. I guess you were part of that package.
Are you fucking serious? Montrose may be part of a treasure trove. Where are we? Where the fuck are we?
Welcome to Prim.
That shithole? Oh my fucking god. Not that I know where Prim is. But anywhere that's not Vegas is a shithole.
You just have the best fucking attitude, don't you, for somebody that just got pulled out of a fucking coffin when we could have left your fucking ass here?
I'm honestly halfway between liking it and disliking it. I don't know what's going on.
I have the best attitude fucking possible considering that Montrose spared me by making me starve myself fucking death in that stupid fucking coffin. Yes, I have a good attitude comparatively. How would you fucking like to not even be staked, but to be lodged in a magical coffin of your own clan's creation? Not
I'm
even
sorry.
the benefit of fucking torpor.
A
This is
clan?
ridiculous.
The fuck's a clan?
Think of it like baseball teams.
Are you fucking serious? You're gonna compare the Tremere to a baseball team?
Honestly, I'd
My
say you guys are
God.
more like a golf team.
Your mother's like a golf team.
Oh,
So,
Anastasia, does that gun have any more bullets in it?
try it if you want. I'm not starved, and it's been a long while since I've had to put a fucking childer in their place.
Right, well, firstly, I'm not a childer. Secondly...
Really? You're not a childer? Why don't I know you? I know Fisher here. I even know Finch. I don't know you. I don't know the black guy that's over there by that van. And I don't know you. And she points at Anastasia. And what fucking clan is your cousin?
The way you said black guy makes me think you're a racist fucking bitch, which means we should also leave you here in the fucking desert.
I'm not
Well,
racist.
My cousin apparently thinks to these guys are dead. So am I. Great.
A different kind of dead.
No, permanently dead.
Yeah,
Excellent. At least some of that's good. At least we have some good news to deal with. The asshole who brought me to the middle of fucking nowhere is dead. Thank fucking God. Was that your cousin? And she points to Miguel.
No.
Alright, so where is your cousin so I can at least piss on his prey?
I think he's probably in the county morgue right now.
Great, so you guys fucked up and let a body go to the morgue?
You're making a lot of fucking friends right now. You do realize this, right?
I don't need friends. I need wheels back to Vegas.
Well, you won't have those either if you don't shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah? Fisher? Really? Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Fine. So be it. Are we done here? Can we fucking go?
No, we're getting the rest of those
Why?
because we felt like it.
Can we go? Once we get back to Vegas, I'll hire a moving company. We can have access to 3. I'll send them here and you can take these stupid boxes wherever the fuck you want.
To be perfectly honest, if Montrose put you into a coffin of your own clans to sign, I don't think there is a we in your situation anymore.
There's a we. Montrose just got mad that we betrayed him. That's all. He was probably over it by now.
And as recompense, your clan stuck you in a fancy magic box?
No, Montrose stuck me in the box because we didn't back his particular play.
Which was?
Angry. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to just give you Montrose's plan so that Montrose will know that I fucking told you.
Well,
Needless to say-
Montrose won't know that you told us for several reasons, chiefly among which being that he probably thinks that you are still lost out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Go for Montrose. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm hearing.
What? I'm sorry, I couldn't get... yeah? What about it?
Stole from Montrose.
Okay.
And your cousin hid me and everything else that's here out here. How did your
Alright.
cousin find out about Montrose's treasure trove? Because that's what this is. This is the blackmail information that Montrose used and uses and was going to use to make sure that no one had the wherewithal to overthrow.
Now, such
Just
information
dramatic
can be
ends.
exchanged at a later time.
And I guess he was just hired to bring you down here.
Well, that's fucking stupid.
Honestly, yeah, I agree with you there.
How many more
But-
bags have we got?
I don't know, you're the one moving them. How many more boxes
Sure.
do we have, Nova?
You've nearly emptied this room. There are 5 others.
Okay, will this even fit in the fucking van?
Most of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what, actually, lovely individual you are, you have fun talking with these two. He kind of gestures to Martha and Anastasia. I'm gonna help move these boxes so we can all get out of here faster, okay? If you want to join
Great.
in, you can.
Is that the only way to get for us to get out of here and get back to Vegas? Fine,
Yeah.
I'll help. Okay, fine, whatever. Come on, let's go. Here. Okay, look, grab those two, and that one will stack. That one will stack on top of there.
Oh,
You, strong lady. Big bag. Grab those 4 boxes over there. Hey, black guy, come help with the boxes.
he has a name.
He hasn't given it.
You haven't
Neither
asked
have
for
you.
it.
And Fancy, you know I don't like your clan or anything else, but as the only lady present, why don't you and I have a talk and come to an agreement about this? I can make this almost worth your while. Not that it would take much, being as you and most of your clan are poor.
Fancy smiles at her, but it's one of those "I will eat your heart out your throat" smiles.
Come on now. No, don't be a mean girl. It's okay. I was a little upset. I'm over it now. You should be over it too. Plus, if you touch a hair on my head, my sister's gonna kill you and your entire family. Not in that order.
Walks by with a box. If they figure
I
it
don't know what
out,
the fuck your sister is, not that I care.
Who's my sister? You've met my sister. She used to be one of your students, or did you forget? It's been that long ago. Renee, big, beautiful smile, nice, bright blue eyes, red hair, a little bit of I hate to say this, but she has a little bit of the swarthy mustache on her upper lip. It's real faint, and she keeps it dyed, but you remember her, real tough girl.
the dead one.
What are you talking about, the dead one?
No, sorry, that was the whole thing. I'll shut up now. Please continue.
You Weasleys all look alike. I don't know.
Really? You couldn't come up with anything but better? You couldn't call me a mudblood or a muggle or, something you're probably accustomed to calling people that look like me, Master.
Oh, Fancy punches her in her fucking face.
Yeah, the box that Ryan was carrying is just very, very quickly set on the ground as he turns around to join in the brawl.
Anastasia's just taking a few steps back, and this ain't my fight.
He's goddamn Tremere.
So, second lease on life. Because that's literally what would have happened. She would have wasted away. Hunger would have taken her into torpor. There wouldn't have been anything left for her. She would have just been, at best, bones or dust found later. As her second lease on life is punctuated repeatedly by fist and knee and elbow, and maybe even an occasional tearing of flesh with teeth, we draw to a close as Fancy and Ryan punctuate the decidedly reason on not being a bitch to people who have the upper hand.